What does it actually mean to be a citizen of the United States? It's not just about where you were born or what language you speak. It's a legal definition. The 14th Amendment, passed after the Civil War, is the core of this. It says that anyone born or naturalized in the U.S. is a citizen. Think of citizenship as being a full official member of the country's team. And being on the team comes with a rule book full of both perks and duties. When we talk about citizenship, we have to talk about two sides of the same coin: rights and responsibilities. Rights are the things the government must guarantee you, like freedom of speech. Responsibilities are the actions you should take to make the government and society work, like voting. Why do we need both? Because your responsibilities, like obeying the law and respecting others, are what ultimately create the stable society where your rights can actually be protected. Where do your most important rights come from? They are written down in the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. The people who wrote the Constitution knew they were creating a strong government, so these amendments were added as a promise, a list of personal freedoms the government can never take away. Think of the Bill of Rights as a permanent firewall protecting individual liberty from government overreach. The right to freedom of speech is often called the foundation of American democracy. It guarantees you can criticize the government, share unpopular ideas, and debate policies without being jailed. Imagine if you couldn't say your favorite sports team was the best without getting in trouble. It's the same basic idea, but for politics. Now, remember, this right isn't absolute. You can't use your speech to incite panic, like falsely shouting "fire" in a crowded theater, or to deliberately lie to harm someone's reputation. Connected to free speech is the freedom of the press. This ensures that reporters, journalists, bloggers, and all media outlets can gather and publish information without fear of government censorship. We call the press a watchdog because its job is to keep an eye on our leaders and expose wrongdoing. If the government could hide secrets or control the news, citizens would never have the information needed to hold their leaders accountable. The right to assembly and petition are crucial for collective action. Assembly means you can gather with groups of people to share ideas or organize, whether it's for a club or a protest. Petition means you can formally ask the government to change or pass a law. Together, these rights allow individual voices to merge into a powerful chorus. If you and your friends want your school to change its lunch menu, you petition the principal. It's the same process at the national level. The concept of due process is the ultimate guarantee of fairness in the justice system. It means the government has to follow all the rules and procedures when enforcing laws. For you, this means if you are ever accused of something, you have the right to a speedy trial, the right to an attorney, and the right to face your accusers. Due process is the reason why police and courts can't just throw people in jail without evidence or legal protection. The right to vote, or suffrage, is the cornerstone of our democracy, as it is the most direct way citizens control their government. It has a long history of struggle. For much of our past, only white male landowners could vote. Amendments were added to ensure that race, sex, and age didn't stop anyone over 18 from casting a ballot. Voting is where popular sovereignty, the people's rule, actually happens, making it a powerful right. Now we shift to responsibilities, starting with being informed. A democracy cannot work if its citizens don't know what's going on. Imagine hiring a construction crew to build a house, but you never check their references or look at the plans. You wouldn't like the result. Similarly, responsible citizens stay educated on current events, research candidates, and look for unbiased information so they can make smart decisions at the ballot box. The most important civic responsibility is actually voting. While your right to vote means you can vote, Your responsibility means you should vote. Failure to vote is essentially handing your power over to someone else. Every election, whether for president or for the local school board, has an enormous impact on your life. If you want the government to work well for you and your community, you must take the few minutes necessary to cast your ballot. The most basic responsibility is simply obeying the laws. This is a foundation for living in any civilized society. By agreeing to follow the rules passed by our elected representatives, we create order, ensure public safety, and show respect for the government system we agreed to. If citizens constantly ignored traffic laws or laws against stealing, society would quickly break down into chaos. Another key responsibility is paying taxes. No one likes to talk about it, but taxes are how the government provides essential services that benefit everyone. The taxes your parents pay go to fund your public school, pay the police and firefighters who keep you safe, fix the roads you drive on, and fund the military. Paying taxes is essentially paying your fair share for the common resources you use every single day. The responsibility of jury duty is a direct way you uphold the judicial branch and the right to a fair trial. The Constitution guarantees that a person accused of a crime has the right to be judged by a jury of their peers, regular citizens, not just judges. When you are called for jury duty, you are temporarily becoming a vital part of the justice system, ensuring that fairness and due process are upheld for all. A crucial civic responsibility is respecting the rights of others. Our rights only exist because we collectively agree to respect them. This means you must tolerate and even defend the rights of people you strongly disagree with. You have a right to free speech, but so does the person who holds the opposite view. A healthy democracy depends on your willingness to allow others to enjoy the same freedoms you demand for yourself. While not required by law, volunteering and engaging in public service are ways citizens elevate their community. Think about helping at a local animal shelter, organizing a neighborhood cleanup, or tutoring younger students. These actions solve problems that the government can't solve alone and show a commitment to the common good. It's an optional but deeply rewarding way to exercise civic virtue. The process of becoming a citizen happens in two main ways. The most common is by birth, which the 14th Amendment guarantees for almost anyone born on U.S. soil. The other way is naturalization. This is the legal process immigrants go through to become full citizens. It's a structured path that requires learning about the country and swearing an oath, showing a deliberate commitment to becoming part of the U.S. community. The naturalization process is a rigorous journey that shows deep dedication. A person must first be a legal resident for several years. Then, they must pass a comprehensive test covering U.S. history, government, and English. The final step is taking the oath of allegiance, where they swear loyalty to the United States and the Constitution. This entire process demonstrates that new citizens are choosing to fully embrace the responsibilities of citizenship. Not all of your rights and responsibilities are federal. Many are decided at the state and local level. For example, your state sets the rules for getting a driver's license, and your local city council might set the rules for recycling or building parks. Being a responsible citizen also means paying attention to these local governments, as they often have the most direct impact on your day-to-day life. Sometimes, a citizen's most important responsibility is to challenge injustice. Throughout American history, it was the active citizens, people in the civil rights movement, the suffragists who fought for the right to vote, or environmental activists who used their rights to speech and assembly to demand that the government live up to its constitutional promises. Democracy isn't passive. It often requires citizens to raise their voices to improve the system. Ultimately, citizenship in a democracy is like signing a contract. The country gives you amazing rights, freedom, protection, and a voice. In return, You agree to fulfill key responsibilities: voting, paying taxes, and obeying the law. An active, informed citizen understands this contract. When you uphold your duties, you are not just helping yourself, you are ensuring that the entire democratic system remains healthy, stable, and protective of everyone's liberty.